In today's video, I'm sharing with you Kevin O'Leary's fitness and nutrition routine. If you don't know Kevin O'Leary, he's one of the investors on Shark Tank, which is one of my absolute favorite shows of all time. He's also known as Mr. Wonderful. And I was recently listening to a podcast where he went into pretty good detail on his morning routine, his fitness, his nutrition, and I thought it was really interesting, and I wanted to make a video about it. Because I think we've all used the excuse at some point that we don't have time to prioritize our fitness or our nutrition or to get in great shape. And I think at some point we ultimately realize that saying we don't have enough time is really BS. But it's great to have examples like this that are a good wake-up call to realize that there's always people out there who are way busier than us and who are way more successful than us, who are still finding time to prioritize their fitness and their health and to get in good shape. And I don't know how much Mr. Wonderful is worth, but it's definitely hundreds of millions of dollars. He's on TV. He's definitely way busier than me and you. So if he can make his health and his fitness a priority, we can as well. So let's dive into it. And if you like the video, consider subscribing to my channel because I make new videos every single week. So first, he talks about his morning routine.
Yeah, well, Mark and I get up at the same time.
5 a.m.
5 a.m. and I work out for an hour right away. Either I take my bike out on the causeway, or I take a cruise down the beach or something, or I hit the machines. But I'm reading stuff from 5 to 6, and then maybe I do a CNBC hit or something. Tomorrow I'm going to do Good Morning America, but I want to be wired by the time I'm on television. I want to be worked out and I want to feel, healthy. I just think it's a good way to live because you get that time by yourself to do your stuff. Nobody bugs you. Nobody's up at 5 o'clock. I am. And, and I do a lot of work in the Middle East now, and I'm doing stuff in Dubai and Abu Dhabi.
So as you just heard, he wakes up early around 5 a.m. and pretty much the first thing he does is his workout for the day, whether that be biking or it sounded like some strength training with some machines. I'm not exactly sure what his routine entails, but he's getting up and he's doing it first thing in the morning. And I've got to say that I'm a huge fan of working out first thing in the morning. I used to be someone who would always encourage clients to work out at whatever time of day suited their schedule and was best for them that they could maintain, which I still do. I still believe that it's better to work out in the evening than not at all. But I'm leaning more and more towards pushing morning workouts than ever before because I've been someone who's been working out first thing in the morning for a few years now, and it is absolutely life-changing. There's just too many benefits piling up of working out in the morning is hard to ignore. First of all, when I work out in the evening, which is very rare now, but in the past, I would always say that I would work out later, and like 50% of the time, something would come up, a meeting, a call, something, with family. Me and Morgan and Nigel were going to go do something. Like 50% of the time, something came up and I ended up not being able to work out. And keep in mind, I'm someone who loves working out. It's something I wanted to do, and still 50% of the time I wasn't going around to doing it. But when I work out in the morning, I pretty much never skip it. So I'm very confident in saying if you work out in the morning before work, you'll be way more consistent and you'll be less likely to have something come up and have to skip your workout. And then there's tons of more benefits. Some of the ones he was talking about was having more energy, having more focus and mental clarity, being more productive. These are things that, if you're very motivated and driven to be productive in whatever career you do and whatever work you're doing, that's valuable to you, right? You want to be really focused and dialed in, and you want to be really productive every day. And getting up, having some caffeine or a pre-workout or something, getting your blood flowing, circulation going, and working out sets you up for a much more productive first half of the day, a much more energized first half of the day than if you kind of roll out of bed, you're kind of groggy, you don't wake your body up. It's just two totally different lives that you're living. And I've recently had a few clients tell me that they've transitioned to morning workouts before work and that they've felt the same way. It's been absolutely life-changing for them. They like it way more. It's incredibly hard to muster up the energy and to get motivated to work out at 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. after you've just worked for 10 or 12 hours. Nobody, no matter how much they love working out, is going to be super pumped about doing a workout at that time or having enough energy to do workout after a full day of work. One other thing I've noticed after getting this Garmin watch, this has a body battery, they call it, where it basically is like a phone battery. It tells you how much energy you're charged up for the day. So when I wake up in the morning, I'm hoping it's around 90%, 95%, or as close to 100% as possible. So when I wake up in the morning and I do my workout, it's at 95% or 90%. I've got a full battery to go work out with. But on the days that I worked out in the evening, I'm using up my battery, right? And by the time I start my workout at 5 or 6 or 7 p.m., my body battery's at like 35% or 40%. And that makes logical sense, right? You've went through a full day of work and you're getting started in your workout at a time that's not exactly optimal for your best possible performance. Now let's talk about his eating.
Mistake of putting too much salt and sugar into food. Yeah. You take away the flavor. When they make food the Asian fusion way, they only use natural. If you want salt, you add lime. You don't put salt. You add more lime juice, and it gives it a little ting, and it makes a much fresher salad, much better fish. I'm totally into that. I don't use any salt anymore. I don't put sugar in my food.
So he loves cooking, and he doesn't like to add additional sugar or salt to his meals. I'm totally on board with this. I don't think I've ever added extra sugar to anything I'm eating. Not my coffee, not anything. Because so many of the foods we eat often have sugar already. If I want sugar, I'll just eat something that has sugar. I'll eat something sweet. But I don't see any reason to add additional sugar to something that you're having that doesn't have sugar. And same goes with salt. I do add some seasoning, some salt and pepper to some of the things that I'm cooking, but I do actively try to keep it limited. I don't try to go overboard with it. Now listen to how he sets up his eating schedule.
And in the process, basically I lost 22 pounds because I don't eat for 16 hours a day. I do this intermittent
fasting.
Yeah, you know what's amazing? It's impossible to do it for the first 3 weeks. Then you're never hungry again. I haven't even eaten today yet.
I haven't either.
I know people that swear by that.
4 p.m.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that keeps me from becoming more of a whale than I currently am.
So you're doing it too?
Yeah, all the time.
You get the joke.
So he uses an intermittent fasting eating schedule, which I use myself in a fat loss phase. If I'm trying to lose body fat or get leaner, that is one of my go-to ways to set up my eating schedule. And not because there's anything magical about intermittent fasting. It's simply because it makes it more manageable to eat in a calorie deficit. If you wake up at 5 a.m. and start eating right away and eat all the way through till 8 or 9 or 10 p.m. and you're eating 2,000 calories, that's going to feel like barely any food at all. You're going to have to stretch those 2,000 calories over like 15 hours of the day. But if you wake up and you don't eat your first meal until 12 o'clock noon, and that's lunch, and you eat your dinner at 6 or 7 or 8 p.m., that's only 2 meals, right? You have to spread those same 2,000 calories, only this time it's only over 2 meals and maybe a snack in the middle. All of a sudden, those 2,000 calories feel like a lot more food. It doesn't really feel like you're dieting nearly as much as someone who's eating all throughout the day, eating 4, 5, 6 meals, and every little time it has to be a tiny little meal. So this is why, in my opinion, intermittent fasting, a schedule like that, is really beneficial in a fat loss phase to lose weight. Not so much if you're trying to gain weight or build muscle. I specifically avoid limiting my eating window to a shorter period if I'm trying to build muscle because I'm eating more food. I need to spread out my meals over different parts of the day to make sure I'm eating enough. So as you can see, when you have your meals and the type of schedule you have for your meals can be tailored to your goals. Intermittent fasting isn't the end-all be-all. It's not better than anything else out there, but it's very convenient and easy, and it makes it very simple in a fat loss phase to eat in a calorie deficit very manageably. It's also very time efficient. So for people who are busy like Mr. Wonderful or myself or any of you out there who work 10 or more hours a day, it can be very convenient to only have to worry about eating lunch and dinner, right? You prepare your lunch, you bring it to work, and that's it. You go home and you eat dinner. And that's all the time needed for meal prep or for your nutrition. For someone who's eating 4, 5, 6 times a day, the amount of meal prep is absurd. It is ridiculous. You're going to have to be preparing 30 meals every week. That takes hours upon hours of meal prep. Just sitting down to eat 5 or 6 or 7 times in a day is going to take up a few hours of your day, right? Mr. Wonderful doesn't have time to do that. I'm sure many of you don't have time to do that. So I'm a fan of an intermittent fasting schedule in a fat loss phase specifically, and I've used this type of setup with dozens of clients. I've probably helped 3 or 4 dozen clients lose 20 or more pounds specifically through an intermittent fasting schedule. So I've got proof of concept time after time after time. It's sustainable, and it's a matter of if it works for you, if it's something that you feel like is convenient to your particular schedule and preferences.
That an Oura ring?
Yeah, no, I'm totally tripped out on this stuff. So Oura ring, got a Whoop.
Yep.
I wear a glucose sensor, although I'm not a diabetic, because I don't want to spike my glucose. But these things, these track I look at my sleep.
Yep.
So he also is a fan of the wearable. So I have the Garmin Venu 2, I think it's called here, which tracks my steps, it tracks my sleep, it tracks my activity, it pretty much tracks everything. He's got the Whoop, which is a very well-respected band that tracks your recovery, your sleep, and a few other things as well. It's very respected in the industry. However, it doesn't track steps, which is the only reason I didn't get the Whoop myself. But he also has the Oura Ring, which is another pretty well-respected wearable in the industry, which tracks your sleep very well. It does track your steps, I think, if you get the right one, and it tracks a number of other things as well. So not only is he all in on eating healthy, all in on starting his morning with exercise and waking up early, but he's into the data as well. He's into tracking his progress, tracking his sleep, optimizing his performance, and making sure that he's functioning as optimally as possible and feeling as energetic and focused and productive as possible, because obviously he's got a lot of things going on, a lot of businesses, a lot of investments, a lot of things in his schedule that he wants to show up and be his best for. So I just thought this was very interesting and I wanted to share it with you. Let me know if you like this type of video where I analyze what well-known or celebrities or different business people are doing for their own fitness. Comment down below if you'd like to see more videos like this. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Check out Shark Tank if you haven't already. I'm a huge fan of it. As someone who has my own fitness business, I've always been a fan of watching it and seeing what ideas the entrepreneurs have on the show. But overall, it's a great show. I've been watching it for like the full 10 seasons or whatever it is. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.